For most of my life, I was the person that wouldn't add anything to conversation at parties or social events because I was scared of being judged as being too boring. And the truth is, I was. I would tell myself, oh, it's because I'm an introvert and my social battery just gets drained super easily. But that was just an excuse. It was a label that I put on myself to keep me from doing things that made me uncomfortable. Things that would make me grow. I labeled myself this because of judgment. I didn't want to be seen as boring. And you know what? You're boring too. It's actually okay to be scared. But it's something that we can fix about ourselves. Whether or not something is boring is completely dependent on our own experience with it. What's boring to one person might not be boring to somebody else. We're not boring because we don't have anything to say. We're boring because the things that we do have to say are all of the cliche things that everybody else has said before. The only thing we have to add is these same things that anybody else has ever said. And to be honest, how is that not boring? Don't you get bored hearing the same shit over and over again? Why is something as boring as chemistry and math exciting for the chemist and mathematician? It's because the depth of the knowledge that they have in those subjects. They know all of the tiniest details about everything, and they can take those concepts and apply them into life, and that's what gets us engaged with it. They help make people understand things easily, and that is what makes them so interesting. We become interested in the things that we don't understand, and we really get interested in something when those things are put in a way for us to be able to apply to our own life. So what does a boring introvert need to do in order to become interesting? Get curious. Start getting curious about something. My first starting point was philosophy and social psychology. I started with the 48 Laws of Power and Think. These things created a shift in how I saw the world, so I saw things in my life and stories that I would tell myself from a completely different perspective. This can help you come up with new conclusions and new conversation topics to talk with people about. It gives you a new way of looking at things. And then what you start to do is you start taking these things that you're learning and you carry them out to you in the world and have conversations with people. You start asking people their thoughts, their feelings on some of these things, and you get into some deep dialogue with them. You will be surprised at how people react to this. People will want to go deeper in those conversations with you. Then all of a sudden you are interesting to them because they are opening up. All of a sudden they want to give you more information about them, but because of that, that makes you look more interesting. And the key to all of this is you being interested in them in order to be interesting. And you get that by getting a depth of knowledge in something and then putting it out in the world and seeing what people say back. If you get to know people more deeply, they will want to talk to you more. If you are somebody that is in their own self-improvement journey, there is no reason for you to be boring, because part of self-improvement is learning, and learning is understanding new ideas, new topics, new skills, and going deeper into that. Get curious, learn more, start conversations about it.